Well, I started putting together a couple of planters. These are on my front porch, and I've had this little angel for years and years since I moved here. So these are a couple of the fake flowers that I put in there, and I think it looks pretty good. So I have that one, and the same with this little sleeping guy. So those will be living in there, and I don't have to water them. Now I also started to put together the window box, but I'm not done with that. I'm waiting for some of the wandering Jenny to grow, and then I'll put together more flowers. So trying to make things easy for myself. Just got a weeping red bud delivered, and I've decided I'm going to plant it right here. So I'm going to work a little bit on this area, at least dig the hole and get it planted. And then I need to move this stuff around. So let's see how far I get. We're loaded up with weeds here. The dandelions are just doing great. Not that I want them to, but there we go. So I'm going to at least get this little tree planted. And I got it from Lowe's, and it was about $80. So this is the second one that I'm planting back here. The other one is that little stick right there. I can't even see it, but it's there, and it's actually starting to put out a little bit of leaves. So yeah, this is the last tree, well, second to the last tree that I should be planting in the ground. The rest of them are going in pots. And the reason I'm planting all that in pots is because we're not supposed to plant a garden in the dirt, but I plant everything in pots to get around that. So yeah, they don't like vegetable gardens, anything like that. I don't know why, but it is what it is, and by they I mean the association. So my trees will be going in pots. This is as far as I got. It just started raining. So, and I hear thunder, but at least I got the red bud planted. So that's as far as I got today. And over there I planted all my clematis, and I also took out some wandering Jenny that was growing randomly in pots. So I think this area will look very nice once I get it done, if it ever stops raining. Okay, I'm going in the house. I'm getting wet. Here I am in my living room, in my chair, feeling very frustrated. Well, at least I got that little red bud planted, but I had other plans for today. Because today it was in the lower 70s, and the next couple days are going to be in the mid to upper 50s and rain. So I was hoping to get some more things planted out there, especially to take advantage of all the rain coming. So, but that wasn't meant to be. So now I have to think of plan B. Not that I don't have enough to do, but that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to plant the rest of the little trees in the pots and also the arborvitae, but that's not going to happen. I was waiting this morning. It wasn't raining this morning, but everything was still soaked from last night's rain. So I was waiting for it to dry up a little bit, and it did dry up just a tad, but by the time that happened, it looked like it was going to rain again. So, oh well, you can't control Mother Nature, even though they're trying like heck to do it. So I heard England is trying to, what did they call it? Geo something. I can't remember exactly what they called it, but they're going to technically be doing a lot of cloud seeding and throwing things up in the atmosphere to block out some of the sun. These people are nuts. They're absolutely crazy. You know, they don't know. Everything's an experiment with these people. Same way with the jab that everybody got. Now it's coming out that, oh, well, sorry, you know, that was a bad idea. But, yeah, now they're messing with the weather. And who knows? They could start another ice age. But they're bound and determined to cut down on the population, I guess. But anyway, moving along, I know they do cloud seeding around here. I see it up in the sky a lot of times where it looks like a tic-tac-toe board. You can't tell me that's just random planes flying by, because I'm not dumb. So, anyway, I'll just keep planting trees and helping Mother Earth out, trying to help the atmosphere. I planted almost, other than the woods, I planted all the trees in my backyard. Even though that is on common ground back there, I wanted a woodsy kind of feel in my backyard. I didn't want it to look like an open field. I'm not a big, huge fan of grass, just having a big, huge yard of grass. I know a lot of people love that. They're very proud of their lawns. I'm not a fan. I like more hardscapes and woodscapes. I like that cozy feeling. So that's probably why I have so much stuff. It makes me feel cozy. I don't like that open feeling. I don't like a ton of clutter either, but, I think that's why I don't lean towards being a minimalist either, because I prefer to have a little bit more of a cozy vibe in my house. So, but, a lot of people just like everything open and plain, and it's definitely easier to take care of, I'll say that. But, so, yeah, I haven't changed out of my garden clothes yet. I feel kind of grungy, but I keep hoping this blows by, but it doesn't look like it. It almost looks like it's, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and it's already getting to be dusk. That's kind of what it's looking like. So much for my gardening plans for today. But I'll keep plugging away at it. I'll keep doing it in little spurts here and there whenever I can, whenever it's dry enough and the dirt isn't total mud. I'll plant a few things here and there. Other than flowers and vegetables, I'm not planning on ordering too much more when it comes to the big ticket items. So I'm trying to do my garden on a shoestring, and I know spending $80 on a tree isn't exactly a shoestring, but all the other trees were not expensive at all. And I've been wanting a redbud tree for a very long time, and I figured if I'm going to be doing my garden the way I want to keep it, then I'm just going to go for it this time around. So even in my pots on the deck, I have a couple of arborvitae. They're tiny yet. I'm going to plant those in a couple of the pots. I used to have that up there for many years until they got too big for the pot, and I had two of them, and they died out. So, but they lasted a long time in those pots. So I also want to put in the same pot, I want to put some hostas. They'll come back every year. I had those in the pots that got taken down off the deck, and they're buried somewhere in the dirt. So maybe I'll come across them and I can use those too. But I still have those coming, and then I'll start working on the pots, the flower pots. Once I get the trees all planted and the shrubs, I'll start working on the flower pots. But those are really the only two pots that I'm going to have with live flowers. And then the hanging baskets are all going to be the fake flowers. So I've had it with the hanging baskets. They just, I don't know, unless you're watering them twice a day, they really, really look bad by the time July rolls around. And that to me is a waste of money. So I do have those two begonia baskets from Costco, but I'm not hanging those up either. And I may stick those, transplant those into two self-watering pots that I bought last year that I still have in my garage. I kind of started gathering things for my garden a year or two ago, and I still have things that I want to put out there. So, yep, I'm very disappointed that I didn't get further today, but that's okay. It's time to maybe shift gears and do something else. Or do nothing. That sounds like a good plan. I'll just sit and think about gardening. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with my garden. I was watching a channel, and this gal does junk gardening, and she gets all this junk, literal junk, and she does little scenes with it, little, what do you call that? Well, anyway, she, stages it in different ways, and it actually looks nice, but I don't want to do junk gardening. I want a very cozy, more like a secret garden. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. And I had that before I got the dogs, but everything kind of got torn up after that. So I gave up on that and just did the garden the way I have it now. Because my dogs are actually more important than my garden. So I wanted to make sure they were safe and they had enough space. So as things died out back there because they stepped on them or whatever, I didn't replace them. But now it's time to make it nice and just kind of set it up so that I'll be done for a while anyway. So it's raining again, it's starting to thunder, and yeah, I'm just going to relax. The heck with it. I'm just going to take the opportunity and relax. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.